专辑名啊？
Hi, welcome to the Silver Spleen. My name is Don Jeremy, and this is my review of Love in the Buff. I know what you're thinking, but I assure you it doesn't say Love in the Butt, damn it. Love in the Buff is the 2012 sequel to 2010's Love in a Puff. Both movies are directed by Ho-Cheung, and both movies open in a similarly interesting and very entertaining way. But where the opening of Love in a Puff was kind of funny, this new opening is very different. I really enjoyed it because it's always interesting when something works the way it's supposed to, and it usually doesn't. So I was really glad this time when it did. Love in the Buff picks up pretty much where Love in a Puff left off. Jimmy and Sherry, still played by Shawn and Miriam Yeung, have fallen into a rut in their relationship. And when Jimmy gets posted to Beijing, he leaves Hong Kong and Sherry behind. Does she follow him? Well, if she doesn't, we don't have a movie. She also goes up above for work, and like Jimmy, tries to find a new person to replace her ex. In Jimmy's case, he plays the white knight to a flight attendant, played by Minnie Yang, a China actress who is obviously not named after her cleavage. Because this is a movie, she gives him her phone number and, pretty soon, everything else. There's no on-screen sex in Love in the Buff, but there wasn't really any in the first movie either, so I'm not going to blame China. Sherry also meets a man, but their relationship is rather different. It was a lot of fun to watch these relationships develop, and it was also a lot of fun watching Jimmy and Sherry talk to each other, exes though they may be. Like the first movie, the story itself isn't really the reward for watching. To me, it was much more about watching these actors inhabit these characters and the dialogue that the characters spoke. It was nice to see actors being so real and so ordinary. But because it's a movie, things can't always be realistic. If I'm out with my new girlfriend and she goes off to the bathroom and I'm standing around waiting and I see my ex-girlfriend, I'm not going to go talk to my ex-girlfriend, and I'm certainly not going to do it until my new girlfriend shows up. But then, my life's not a movie. I don't even have a girlfriend. Or an ex-girlfriend. But never mind. Ho-Cheung, who directed the movie, also has a cameo in it, wearing a very interesting t-shirt. I would suggest that if you want to see it, you watch the movie. Isabel Chan also reprises her role from the first film, and gives another strong performance in a small role. There's a cameo appearance from Ekin Cheng and his hair playing himself and itself that's funny, interesting, and a nice bit of toying around with the fourth wall, thematically speaking. Speaking of thematically, there's an argument to be made that Love in the Buff represents Hong Kong or Hong Kong cinema or Ho-Cheung's career. But the film, to me, makes the geography pretty much a token. There's nothing in the movie that talks about cultural differences. We don't get to see anybody having problems adjusting to their new homes. And they fall into new relationships very easily. It's a little weird, but it's a movie. Jimmy and Sherry both speak Mandarin, but we're never really told why. But these things didn't really bother me. Like I said, Love in the Buff is just fun to watch. It's so rare to see such realistic characters that even when their situations and settings aren't totally realistic, you still feel as though they're real people and they're just entertaining to watch. It's easy to relax when you watch this movie. You don't have to think a whole lot, you can respond emotionally to it, and the film itself is so well done that you don't have to really expend any effort, you just kind of let it wash over you. I know that sounds a bit weird, but what I'm trying to say is, it's a very fun movie to watch. It's a light romantic comedy, but it's also a very good and very honest look at how people have relationships after they stop acting like teenagers. I can recommend that you watch this movie, but of course, like always, I recommend that you pay for it. In the description, there's a link where you could buy this on disc. That's what I need you to do. If not from me, buy it from somebody. Don't steal it. If you enjoyed this review, please leave me a comment. If you didn't enjoy the review, leave me a comment. If you enjoy the channel, please subscribe because that way I'll have more subscribers. Thank you very much for watching. Hey, my spleen is not weak.